I have the time. Wow, 60 minutes left. No, I'm not going to talk for 60. Well, I hope I'm not going to talk for 60 minutes. I have the tired. So I actually went to bed quite early for me, which is quite significant. It was a good hour or so before I normally crawl into bed. So that is, it makes a difference. Got up. I woke up before I think I woke up definitely before my first alarm, but I didn't. I normally snooze it to a certain time. I actually woke up a bit before that time, so I was like, yeah, okay, look at that. I don't know if it's because it wasn't a particularly sunny day today. It was pleasant. It wasn't. There was a little bit of smattering of rain, but it was still a warm day. I don't know. I guess it took it out of me. As you can probably, I don't even tell, but I'm gonna get snuffly. I'm feeling very snuffly, and yeah, I'm all kind of floopy. Did get shopping done. Adam finally has his car back, so we were able to have the car with a nice big boot. And still didn't get everything in there because he needs to. Well, he said he reorganised what was in there, and it didn't help because it actually made less room. So that's on him. But yeah, it was fine. We got stuck some stuff on the back seat. Everything got home. So that was a successful shopping trip. Actually, the next one's going to be in a couple of weeks anyway, because himself gets paid twice. So by the time when he gets back from the Ukraine, then he should be able to give me some more money more or less straight away. So what we've got will. Well, we can definitely make it last. It's a shop, but we didn't get just food. We needed loo roll, we needed kitchen foil, we got other kitchen things like bag of black bags. So I bought more of the stuff. Less foody stuff, more just general householdy stuff. So that's kind of. I basically barely had time to sit down for a few minutes before going out again to the shopping, and I went out and did the shopping. Put it all away, made my dinner, sat down. I kind of been watching YouTube videos, and I suddenly realised, ooh, poos, it's nearly midnight, which means it's going to be officially tomorrow soon. But if you assume daily vlog is a vlog in the time that I am awake, then this will be today's. So there you go. So speaking of the daily, this is what prompted all this. This is what I'm answering. I'm wearing the Dr. Pooh today. So Winnie the Pooh dressed up as Tom Baker. But yeah, shall we see what delightful question there is for today? And alright, yep. Need to turn the page over. How do you feel about fairy tales? Love them, hate them, take them or leave them? Strange question. I like fairy tales. They got their place. Obviously, mostly familiar with Grimm and Andersen. I like the Danny Kaye Hans Christian Andersen movie. That's quite fun. Although my mom claims you can never get past the Tom Thumb yawning scene. I can, but I haven't seen the whole thing in a while. I think, doesn't Hans Christian Andersen get arrested or something? So it's a bit of a strange one. There are many fairy tales through pretty much every culture that's advanced enough to tell stories. In fact, there are probably tribes, some of those, Papua New Guinea or deep in the Amazon, the ones that are kind of protected. I don't want to say that they've got a primitive language because I don't know enough about them, but certainly what we would consider to be less developed. And I bet even they've got their own stories that they tell, their own fables. They don't call them fairy tales, but I bet they've got stories of great warriors and cautionary tales about not going to the edge of the water. and you know, things like this. Do Just So count as fairy tales, or would they be more cautionary tales? So there's that. You know, anywhere there's a culture, anywhere there's a culture that, you know, raises its children to say, hey, we want you to be the best person that you can be, and here's some stories that will help you on your journey. There have been fairy tales. There have been people telling stories. There have been people telling stories to help people learn or carry messages. Aesop fables are definitely cautionary. I do have, and I can't. Well, I don't even know if that still works on Tintin. I have e-reader on my little tablet device. I'll see if I can pull it up while I'm talking. And basically, because the way the thing is set up, it connects to feedbooks as its main source of, you know, books of literature. And of course, on feedbooks, there is access to. What have I gotten to? Oh well. There is access to every, at least as many as they could fit on their archive, free public domain books. And I downloaded them because why not? And I think it was Blue Fairy. There's a series, I can't remember who the author is, but it's a series of, I think they're European fairy tales, and they're like named after different fairies. I don't know if they're Anderson or someone else of that era, maybe early Grimm. And I read one of those. They're quite long. The one I read was quite long, and it was quite involving. And I'm just like, I'm not sure if I'm enjoying. I finished the whole story, and it was interesting, but it's quite, like I said, wasn't like we're not looking full-length novel, but definitely longer than, say, Hansel and Gretel, or I was gonna say Pinocchio, but I haven't read Pinocchio. Boy Who Cried Wolf, that's quite a short story. It wasn't as pithy. But I guess maybe that counts. I don't know if it's necessarily a fairy tale or more of a fable or a cautionary tale, but it was interesting. Like I said, there's a whole collection of these books within the collection, so they're kind of things. So, you know, I guess the question's asking what we would consider to be classic fairy tale, i.e. the Hans Christian Andersen, the Brothers Grimm, that kind of stuff. Say hello to Pudgy. Say hello, Pudgy. So yeah, but these weren't those stories. I mean, there's the whole joke of like, oh, these ain't your grandma's fairy tales, but actually these probably are your, found it, your grandmother's fairy tale. I haven't used this in a while, so I don't know if it's going to turn on. Oh, there you go. It's turning on. So yeah, there is that aspect to it. There's what's this piece of paper? Is this piece of paper important? Not as much as it used to be. God, these books have been shoved behind. So I mean, you can say like the modern fairy tales. Obviously, the Disney movies have taken those stories and kind of made them their own. And you know, I love me some Disney, although I'm aware that, especially like The Little Mermaid is the famous example where they completely changed the ending. Aldico, there you go, that's the program. So you know, they're gonna make it more. Oh god, was it? Yeah, Cinderella, where she was supposed to, the sisters were supposed to put on these iron shoes, slippers, and be forced to dance until they basically bled to death, become a nub. Here we go. Okay, there's a lot in here. A lot in here, and that's just one flick. I don't know if I can search what I currently have. Because it's not... Oh, why is there an ad? Ugh. Go away. I'm not interested. How about no ads at all? God, there's a lot in here. God. Yeah, so... I guess the short version is... Sorry. The short version is that I like fairy tales. But I also acknowledge that it's not just Grimm or Anderson or... Oh, Edgar Allan Poe. I wouldn't call those fairy tales, but there's... Yeah, I don't know if there is a search function on here. Sort, filter... All reading, not started. Okay, since I've read a book in that series, maybe that'll do it. I'll narrow it down a hell of a lot. Inquiry to Nature. Of course, there's a lot of them I've flicked through. The Blue Fairy book. Oh, okay. There we go. Andrew Lang. He's the same person who compiled Arabian Nights, I guess. Helen of Troy, Crimson Fairy book, Grey Fairy book, Orange Fairy book, Blue Fairy book, Red Fairy, Violet Fairy, Yellow. Got a whole rainbow. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure the Blue Fairy is the one I started reading, but yeah, okay. So I don't know if that's legible on there, but I guess he compiled those books. Because I don't think he wrote the Arabian Nights. So he didn't write Helen of Troy. So there you go, Andrew Lang has compiled some stories, fairy tales that kind of not fairy tales as we know them, or I understand, but I guess Arabian Nights could be considered the fairy tales of their culture. Which is cool, like I said, you know, there are tribes out there that are, you know, oral traditions or however, they're telling their stories, and that is a good thing. So, yeah, I don't know if this is necessarily a profound chat or not, but certainly more interested in yesterday's, I'm on holiday. So yeah, but yeah, I recommend, just on a side note, I do recommend most Android devices that have it built in. But Aldeco, you can have it PDF, this is just the mass. Yeah, so it's, you just read it like a book. And like I said, it's got access to the public domain. So, yeah. Alexander Dumas. I know, no. I haven't read even half of the stories that I've amassed in here. And I know there's more that I could download. But, it's good. It's good. It's an interesting way of collecting and doing stuff. But, yeah. So, Andrew Lang has compiled... is there like a biography? Oh, hang on, I'll choose one of the other books, because that's the one I started reading. Yeah, page 12 I'm on now, so that was about 10, allowing for the introduction of that 10-page book. Crimson Fairy, open up. Andrew Lang, March 31st, where have you gone? Why did you do that? Oh, that's annoying. Dumas. Right, try that again. Sorry. Andrew Lang, March 31st, 1844. Skelkirk. July 1912. Kidconshire. I don't know. He was a prolific Scots, man of letters. He was a poet, novelist, a literary critic and contributor to anthropology. He's now best known as a collector of folk and fairy tales. The Andrew Lang Lectures at St Andrews University are named for him. Source from Wikipedia. So there you go. He was a Scotsman who gathered together stories. Yeah, so fairy stories aren't just your Grimm and Anderson or whatever. They're your Andrew Lang collections. They're your, local legends gathered by people sharing them orally. And maybe the tales of Beedle the Bard. They're cautionary tales. They're what you want them to be. They're fun. They're awesome. I like fairy tales. I don't read them enough. Not as an adult. Not so much anymore. But fairy tales have their place in the world, and so should they do. Here you go. I'm on Twitter. Sorry, I didn't mean to actually run out the clock, but thanks for watching, especially if you stuck all the way with me. You're awesome. You are awesome. All right. I've been Michelle. You've been listening, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.